he gets by, I'll have. I was named Palmer, Robert W. And I spent a lot of time in the CC camp. And when I got out, I went up to JB and we took examination, and they told me that they would go down to the Federal building and take one for the Navy. And hell, I didn't want to take no Navy. I had two brothers in the Army. And when they put us on a train, we shipped us out to Petersburg, Florida. And some of the boys was whimpering, crying around a little, and I was just getting a big kick out of that. And we stopped down there. They just pulled us over on the side, and I seen Martin and Duty. They come out of Siska's place there, and they got in that old red truck and went up over the hill. I just pushed my mess to get back. That was the only time I guess I was ever. And I got down to Florida, and we got looking. We got buildings in the hotels, and most of the guys, they'd send them out there in the swamps, and they said, if you hear something rattle, don't. They said you want to look before you say you got him faded. There might be a rattlesnake. And we got on the damn train there, and 7 days and 7 nights. We was going from there to California. I had sea legs when I got home. And I swore to run on to Leonard, and I went down to see Linton. He's the oldest brother. He was getting ready to ship to the South Pacific. And they had the Zoot Suit War there. I took off my old Sam Browning belt, and I was aiming wham hell out of him if he got me.
They're having what?
I was a Sam Browning belt. This big old, it went on dress. And I stayed all night there and come back up to Frisco. And we went in little towns called Davis at Agriculture College. And they growed everything. I seen the biggest watermelons, and they had the English walnut trees. I'd eat them damn things like a fox squirrel. And then they shipped us from there. We went to New York, and they had an old, it's been a luxury liner, Ile de France. And we got on there, and I said, boy, this is going to be fine. Ain't many of us on there, and they kept crowding. And we took off, and it was Limey Control, and took off in this for England. And I was out on a fantail, and they had an old gun that looked like a Civil War relic. And they crammed powder bags in her, and stuff and shell in it. And I said, oh hell, they're going to have to fight something. But evidently he got on the blinkers and they got lights going. And I got over there, and they sent us up to Nottingham, and I had the old castle up there and the old oak trees that Robin Hood played under. Hell, they had them. Had the 2x6s, had them propped up, and we stayed there and had good baseballs, and we knocked one ball away. We wouldn't take the time to go get it. And then I got to 77 Troop Terror Squadron. They had a kid that got shot down over there, and I took his place, radio operator. And that outfit I was in is made up out here at Sedalia. I think they got, oh hell, them big gull wing bombers over there now. And there's a guy named French in there, and when he wanted to go home, well, he said his old man had sent a little money to USO, and he'd get a leave. We had a lot of good times in there, and I wouldn't give a nickel to do them all again. We have a practice parachute jumps, and colored chutes, different things that have it on it. And finally, the Frenchmen got stealing so damn bad they quit having them.
Now, where were you at that time?
I went over in France.
Oh, France. What part of France?
Well, there's a habit here right now. Oh, yeah, there was a. I wish they had a retreat and inside of the Eiffel Tower.
You were by the Eiffel Tower?
Mm-hmm. There's
in Paris.
There's a guy. He flew a plane right through that Arc de Triomphe. It's on the same area. They tried to figure him down. They couldn't catch him. And them fighter pilots, they'd come in and they'd stay there at their base, and I'd hit them up to ride. And there's a little bit of Chinaman, I called him a chick. He come in, he had a P-51. He said if I'd take the radio equipment out, I could ride piggyback. His plane was still there when we left.
It says you're in southern France, Rome. What is this other? Arno?
Yep.
Arno? Where's that at?
That's right off the Italy coast there, little islands, and we went down there and we pulled paratroopers over there, and we got there and the damn Germans had done left. There wasn't a soul there but the natives when we got in there.
Did you have to jump out of a plane a few times?
No.
And you're in the Ardennes?
Yeah.
What did you do up there?
That's the Battle of the Bulls.
We threw supplies into them guys. They had them. Well, the Germans all they was dug in under the. Hell, I can't even think now. The fir trees and stuff there, and we kicked supplies out, and they'd get the biggest part of them. The wind to drift the parachutes over. They got where they wouldn't shoot at us when we come over.
You're in the Rhineland?
I was right all in them damn places there.
What was the Rhineland?
That was that was between the German and France.
Okay. But you're in those places in the air, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were you stationed at? Where did you take off from?
Well, France. We haul supplies. It'd take about 700 gallons of gasoline, and we'd haul about that much to get it over there. We flew into Kassel, Germany one time. We sat down there, and they waved us, tried to wave us off, and the old man wouldn't go. And there's 88 up there in that hills, and she'd go, pow! She'd tear up the dirt, and hell, I beat it. I got out of that plane quick as I could, and it wasn't long to hear the rumble down the road, and there's a 155 come up there, and he fired about 3 rounds, and they never did hear no more of the Germans. I don't know why they didn't send a plane over there. They could have done it just good. I guess they wanted to give him some target practice. We went into another field pretty close there, and the Germans had left it, and they captured a whole warehouse full of gin, and hell, they wasn't about to move.
So you got a Bronze Star for something? What was that for?
That's for helping the buddy. He was down over there, and he was in the Pathfinders. They went in and they dropped flares and stuff, and the Germans know this coming, and then you pull the gliders in there, and drop them in there, and then get the hell out of there fast as you can go. The guy I flew with, he joined the French Canadians, and he went up there, and as soon as America got in the war, he got in it. He was too damn heavy, and he was too old and too heavy, and they put him in a troop carrier. He flew everywhere. The British, they'd instead of a couple of hundred planes, they just covered the sky. They used that, the better navigators than we had. We have, most of the time, they'd take I'd get out there and watch the bombers. They had a striped plane, and he'd fly in there, and he'd maybe get up at 4 o'clock, and this one formation would follow it around, and then he'd get them all up there, and they'd take off, and he'd come right back down. I'd like to have that job.
What do you do as a radio operator?
I was sending message. The first thing I ever learned to send is 3 dits, 4 dits, 2 dits. No, that's shit. And we could kind of hang it on them guys over there, because we took 5-letter words, and they just had 4. We had a trailing wire antenna. We wasn't supposed to use that unless only in case of emergency. I'd let her down to come in loud and clear.
And you had to send it in code?
Yeah, they had you got a new code book every day.
Did you ever have any problems up there? Any other planes after you?
Oh yeah, they'd this guy I was flying with, he'd take off and go to town and leave us down there at the plane. And hell, he'd come back and he'd tell the mechanic, "Well, you had a little trouble, didn't you?" "Yeah, sure did, Captain." And I was up in Astrodome. I don't know what the hell I was doing up there, but there's a little bubble up there on the top of the plane, and I could see these look like blue and red dots. I said, "Are we the only ones in there?" And he said, "Hell no." He said, "You get on the radio." And I called for it, and they sent up a couple of Black Widows, and they took that son of a bitch back into Germany fast they could go. They got called up on the carpet, and he didn't care. He was wanting out of it anyhow. He wasn't. And we'd be flying into a drop zone, and you could see the wing tanks of the fighters. They just floated down to the ground.
And what was that, a bad sign?
Yeah, it was a bad sign. They had a dogfight going up there. They had the fighter to stay up about 30 or 40 minutes, and they put the wing tanks on it to follow along. Our main defense was this, we fly so damn slow as they could. They stole out. They couldn't catch us.
What type of plane was it?
I was a C-47. They got some. Our next outfit got in a bunch of C-46s, and they was big rascals. They could put a bowling ball to drink in one there, and they shot down the whole damn bunch of them.
I haven't heard of those planes before. I heard of B-17 and B-24.
Yeah, that's.
So this wasn't. These, you weren't in a bomber. You were in.
Oh no, it's Air Force. It's just plain old troopers.
Transport. You're okay.
We took over some Liberators, B-24s, after right at the end of the war, and we could haul more gas on them. But there, when we was based there at Paris, we had a good thing going. We get over Germany, we seen somebody ride a bicycle down there. If we thought it was big enough, we'd take it away from it. We'd hold it over in France and sell it. They'd bring about equivalent to $100. They're changing the money over there. There's too much black market, and they'd trade you anything for $1.
You probably had some good times in Paris.
Yeah, we did.
Did you pull any gliders?
Yeah.
When did you first go over there?
I was over there in the fall of '43. They're still bombing Paris when I was over there, and I went down the street there, and there's a bunch of incendiary bombs there, and one soldier said, this is awful. I said, the hell awful, you ought to have been here in '43, and I hadn't been over there but a week myself.
In '43, the Germans were still in Paris, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, what were you doing there? You're dropping stuff in there, or?
Oh, we stayed there, and on the base, so they made the invasion. Then we pulled troopers over. Boy, I hate them French Canadians. Damn, they was mean. When they'd come on the base, they give them live ammunition, and they put them in the stockade before they got ready to pull them. And when they jump out of the plane, I'd holler, I said, hope you don't get back, you bastards. I look for one day, they want to look me up, but I don't guess it will.
The French Canadians, were they British?
Yeah, it's British, but they come out of Canada. They give them they took let them go to town for one weekend. They burnt down 2 or 3 cat houses and cut one horse shit off, and they back in they went. They'd have knife fights every night. God damn, I don't like that blade myself. And we was over there in England, and they're getting ready for invasion, and they sent over the V1s, and they knocked out a bridge, and they thought, hell, that was under-scanny. And so then one night, them things was falling, and the old sergeant's out there, and he'd about half drunk, and somebody went, sounded like a damn bomb falling. He said, we all hit the dirt, and he said, if I can find the son of a bitch that done that, I said, he'll never get off KP for a month.
Did you have anything to do with the D-Day? Were you bringing anything in or have anything to do with the D-Day?
Pardon?
Did you have anything to do with the landing on Normandy? Were you?
Oh, no, they pulled back. They done took that. There's an old battleship Texas laid out there in the channel, and that damn thing fired. I don't know how in the hell the rifle is going out of the gun. Them big guns, when they fire them so many rounds, that they take them back and heat them and put a new barrel in them.
Where did you drop the gliders at?
That's when the Pathfinder designated the area. They'd go in first and lay smoke bombs and everything, and you'd turn them loose.
Do you remember what areas you let them loose at?
No, I can't remember that. That's been about 50 years ago.
Well, whenever you did, what was the glider? What was the job for the gliders? What was the purpose?
Well, they hauled troops in there, and they hauled heavy equipment, guns and tanks, and they had big nylon ropes. And boy, that fellow, if you sold one of them, he'd been rich.
They actually had tanks inside the gliders?
No, they had weapon carriers. That's about a semi tank, and it's got 50 caliber machine guns on it. The old Churchill and them, they come over to our base when we pulled right after the invasion.
What base was that? Do you remember that? Or what area was it in?
It was in England. And, well, it's right close to, oh, hell, that castle. What the hell, some of the... Well,
were you in England for a while?
Huh?
Were you in England for a while?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And,
Buckingham Palace?
Huh?
Or Buckingham Palace?
Well, I've seen it. But this here was a castle down the damn street, or road rather, and they never did bomb it. Germany didn't. And I've seen Prince Margaret and all them. I was trying to think of their native name. That's called that town. I've sold a few darts with a Churchill's daughter. Drank them all in bitters. It was a half mile and a half bitter. And they made a pub out of every house, and they had a big old keg. You drank it warm.
You played darts with Churchill's daughter?
Yeah. She's on a searchlight down there.
Oh, she had a job to do, huh?
Huh?
She had a
Oh, yeah,
job to do.
it worked.
What was she like?
Oh, I just another limey to me.
So she just acted like a regular, another.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't.
But she let you know her dad was Winston Churchill?
Well, I didn't know it. She didn't tell us that, but the guy that been going there said that's who she was. I seen my first horse race in England, and they ran the straight, and then they balked off the road and run across the road.
About what time was that? About what year was that?
I was in '43.
Was the Germans still bombing England at the time?
Yep.
Was London pretty much a mess? Or were you in London?
Oh, yeah, we wasn't too far from it. There ain't no place, any place that you are in England, you ain't over 100 miles from the ocean. You can go in either direction and hit it, unless you take off up through Ireland. And we'd go, we'd try to get on a whiskey detail. They'd fly up there at Scotland and get a load of scotch, for the non-coms and one for the officers. I've been busted so many times. The old shirt, I threw it away. They cut them off of me. They had a kid in there by the name of Holly, and he come from Kentucky down there, and they'd send him whiskey and mix it with fruit. They'd have canned peaches, and when Holly got a package with the whole damn barracks was down there too.
And you're in Africa too?
Pardon?
You're in Africa too?
No.
No? But what do all these mean? Well, this is the Bronze Star, I guess.
No, that's air medal.
What was that for?
That's for being a good boy. They didn't catch me.
You were a good boy?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah. See them little stars there on the? Yeah, them is points. After so many points, you got to come home.
How many did you need?
Oh, I think about 85 of them.
Them was battle anticipation.
Participation?
I got 5 of them.
You mean participation?
Yeah. And each one of them, you got 5 points towards coming home. And 110 was critical. I had 96.
Well, I didn't have that many of them.
Do you remember what these?
I don't remember.
One of them battled the bulls.
I had
It's on there, on his discharge.
What's this? The metal part's gone on that one?
Yep.
Is that one of them that you sold?
If it had sterling on it, I'd sold it. After the war ended, they took us down to, I'll be damned. Well, anyway, before they stole all the champagne in France, and they told us to bring our canteen cups. And I went down there in the basement, and boy, we were slopping that stuff up. And I went up there, and they had trench warfare. Back in 1918, there's old hobnail boots there, and the shells laying there unexploded.
Where were the places you went for entertainment in Paris?
We tried to make it London as much as we could, and Liverpool, and the fish and chips. That was the main goal over there. That was fish and French fries. They called them chips.
So even though they're getting bombed all the time, they carried on pretty much as normal?
Yeah. That subways, that saved London. Hell, you get it right all over the place.
What did the city look like?
Oh, it was pretty well tore up. And I took an ocean walk there, and I walked clean out of that place. It's not too big, but boy, there are a lot of houses there.
What are these for?
That's some be a little metal hang on that someplace. I don't know.
There was something on the front of this one, but I guess it's gone now.
Yep, that's a piece of sterling.
I think his name was on that.
Oh,
How'd you come to be a radio operator?
uh,
How'd you get the Purple Heart?
got shot one time. I was running then. They throwed it at me.
Now, how'd you happen to get shot?
I was down in southern France, and I was with a kid there. He took me over, and well, the damn plane, she went down. And we take all the flak suits and put them under her feet. We know damn good and well she wouldn't stop one up to the top of her. And we hit over there, and I was scared to death. All what we had to fight with was a .45 pistol. And hell, I couldn't hit that town with the town. And we seen had a firefight pretty far up the road there, and I'll learn to talk in a minute. And so me and a buddy took off up there, and there's a dead German laying in a ditch, and I reached over and going to take his gun out of the holster, and it wasn't a Luger, just an officer that had Lugers, and I got it, and I felt something sting. And I looked there, and I had blood running down my butt. I said, "Oh my God, I'm shot." He said, "Let's get the hell out of here." And we run over there, and they hollered halt, and there was a bunch of Americans, and so they shipped us back.
You didn't know who shot you?
No, that might have been American. I don't know. I can't even think of my damn pistol.
P-38?
Yeah, I think it was. I had a hammer on it.
So you didn't hear a gunshot, you just felt it?
We just felt it. Hell, it's firing just like firecrackers on the 4th of July.
So what, they passed you up, you didn't get out because of that?
No, hell, and there at Bastogne, I'll come down there to have to going up there. The guy that made out my driver's license in California put me down for a medium tank, and I hadn't been a flying. I'd been up there. They took cooks out of the outfit up there.
In Bastogne?
Mm-hmm.
So, where were you shot at? How long did it take to get well, or what did you do about it?
Well, I'll go as long as I could. Then I went back there. I wasn't hurt very bad. It scared more than anything else. I had all of my souvenirs. We worked the hospital ship coming back. We was going to come back and get planes and go to India and fly over the hump. And they said, if you got anything, said, just put it in a duffel bag down there and said it'll be shipped to you. So stupid me, I put everything I had in there, and there'd been somebody go through there with a knife and rip it open, take what they want out of it. One time we flew into Germany, and always looking for German tools. And I run up there, and they had planes, and they didn't have time to just break the instrument panel on them. These flock wolves, they're big rascals and folkers, and boy, they had some. And I run into a building there, and I seen a door, and I pulled it open, and goddamn, the German fell right out on me. Scared the hell out of me. He's dead. He was running in there and to hide, and they somebody had riddled it with gunfire.
Where was that at?
In Germany. It was pretty country. They had a forest rehabilitation, and when they cut down a tree, they planted another one, and held it to look like a check cornrow when you flew over it.
So you're in Germany after they'd taken it?
No.
No.
I was in France the whole time.
So you remember anything else about the Battle of the Bulge? What you're doing up there?
Well, we was resplying. We was the only thing flying in there, and they was pinned down in the city, and the Germans are all under damn fir trees out there. And hell, you could see them right down there in the foxholes. And we'd kick out the spies, and the wind to catch them, and half of them drift over to them, and they'd wave at us, and we'd come on back.
They didn't shoot at you very much?
No, hell no. They supplied them, give them cigarettes and everything. He liked that.
They didn't want to shoot at them no way, because that'd give away their position.
And then they cleared up, and they sent the Air Force over and just bummed the hell out of them. Their clone, the British bummed that so bad that it's caused fire tornadoes. It's blazing hot. They killed over 1,000 people in there.
So when did you finally get out?
I got out in September of '45.
So you went in, what date did you go in?
I went in February '43. I was in over there about 13 months, I guess it was. I'd been out longer if it hadn't been the war was ended.
Then when you came back over here, you get to go home right away, or did you have to stay in there first?
No, I was just getting out. I went down South Broadway just to fly.
How old were you when you got drafted?
21. Now I'm 76. That's as old as you are, and no.
I'm 76. I'm going to be 77 the 4th next month.
Oh, you got me beat a little. 22nd November.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the Army?
Well, I wouldn't take $1 million from experience. I wouldn't give a nickel to do it again.
seems like that's kind of the quote that all the veterans give, I think. So, like, you got to see a little bit more of that. Did you usually have a place to sleep?
Well, we had one thing. If we got back, we had a hot grub and a dry place to sleep. The damn plane there, just like this old house in cold weather, it'd pop and creak, and every place we stay all night. Well, there's being the infantrymen around there, and they said, "You want to watch tonight?" Said the Germans dropped paratroopers over here, and I lay there, and that thing is, goddamn! If somebody stuck his head in that door, I'd blow it off.
So you slept in a plane a lot?
Yeah, I had to. They tell us stay there, and we'd stay with them. We pulled.
That's not a good place to sleep, though, is it?
Well, it'd be sleeping on the ground in the fog. So we'd go down to southern France. They'd pull a load of prisoners back into Poland, and then take a load down to southern France. And I was down there, and I was trying to ride a surfboard, and I didn't know what the hell to do. So I was bucking up down, and there's a Frenchman there who showed me. And I'd get up there and I'd raise. I was, hell, this is fun. And I felt something looking my leg, and there's a goddamn bunch of jellyfish. I know there's millions of them, but there wasn't no four. I buried in that sand. I kicked off that board and I swam back to the bank.
They didn't sting you?
Huh?
They didn't sting you?
Nope, I was just lucky. I was going too fast.
Those things are pretty powerful.
Oh, yeah. Get one of them big ones to kill you, I guess.
Well, you got any more stories that you can think of? Well, you haven't really told too many stories. You probably have a few of those.
Well, I told Neil one. I was a blowed up army tank and 2 ammunition dumps, then they sent me overseas.
How'd you manage that?
That's just a joke.
Bob was tower man in the CC camps, Berryman. He come in to tell him it's after night, and he reported a fire in the head of a holler, and then he kept watching it, and he found out it was a bunch of lightning bugs.
Well, that damn tower, if you couldn't raise a window, you'd get reflections all over.
Yeah.
I was up there one day, and there's a switching through the ranger station. And this Bird Abney called Joe Bishop up, and he said, "Joe, got a little fire." And he said, "Yeah, where's it at?" He said, "Over there by the Fox Farm." And, yeah, he said, they'd cross up Alladays. Hell, they'd hit one right on the money. And I just swung mine over and I called up, and they said, "Floyd, I got a little smoke for you." He said, "Where's it at?" I said, "About 20 miles. And so Bert called him back in there, and they said, "Yeah," he said, "Palmer done report that." He said, "I don't see how you can see it just now, up above the tree."